Welcome to the AI Riff, where we cut through the noise and break down the top AI stories of the week with real talk and real relevance. No hype, no fluff, just a vendor agnostic take on what's actually shaping your world today. Whether you're in tech, lending, or just trying to make sense of the headlines, we're here to separate the wheat from the chaff and the facts from fiction. Now let's get started with your hosts, Mario Di Benedetto, Rob Katz, Ruth Lee, and me, Kyle Myers. We hope you enjoy this episode of the AI Riff.
Episode 37 coming at you.
And I didn't have time to change.
You wear the same clothes every Monday?
You know what? It's the Seahawks. I'm going to wear this all week because of the Seahawks. So it's been at least 7 days.
You can wear it for a year.
You know,
world champs for the year. So you
Rob's
can wear it all year. That's what I've been doing.
Mario's still in that ghostly white. So, you know, we're going to hold on to this victory. As bad as it was, it's still a victory. So we're going to keep on going. So anyway, let's get out of the Super Bowl and into, what was that question? What did you pose to Rob?
We gave Rob some homework when we closed our last episode. So Rob, did you do your homework?
I did do my homework. So first of all, the ads that the question was, for those of you who missed the Super Bowl chat, was, has any AI generated commercials been recognized and award-winning in any capacity? And the types of awards that are out there are the Clios, the Cannes Lions, Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Commercials. So there are some legitimate awards that are out there. And the answer is no, with an asterisk. There have been no commercials that have been designed and created by AI that have been award-winning yet. However, there have been commercials that have leveraged and incorporated AI, but not 100% all the way from scratch. And the one that stands out, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, it's Lidlies is the name of the company. Never heard of it before. Don't know. I think it's a gaming modeling type company or something like that. I didn't get a chance to actually look at it, but they actually have been recognized and award-winning, but acknowledge that AI was just a small component of the overall ad that was there. So to date, no all AI-generated award-winning commercials.
I'm okay with that. I honestly think that if it's almost like, you know, with like NASCAR and all those things, you have to have a certain tolerance to your car. You have to have, you know, you can't win with these extra add-on things, doing things. You have to do it the way everyone else. You have to show the skill of the driver, right? Well, I think in these ad awards, I'm not saying ads in general, because there's plenty of AI ads out there all over the place. But I'm saying if you're going to go up for an ad award, you have to prove that it wasn't AI when you built the ad. You can use components of AI to do things in the ad, but it could not have been generated by AI. And you'd have to prove that, which I don't know how you would. But...
Are you afraid of AI, Kyle?
No, because I'm not in marketing, but your wife is. She should be really scared of AI.
I'm going to throw out too, just because an ad wins an award doesn't mean that it actually had an impact to the customer to actually raise the sales. So if I'm the client, I hired an ad agency and they make a commercial for me and they win an award, did my revenue go up? Most of the time, not. They're usually getting awarded for
part of the award criteria,
like that, not effectiveness. So
revenue generated should be part of the award criteria.
It should be.
Yeah. Oh, but wait, what about ads for like public service and things like that? Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Different categories.
We are way outside of our skill set.
Always. So Mario, what were we going to talk about today, and what should we talk about?
We are going to talk about, and it's tough to know whether this is something people really have heard about, but it really was a big deal for the past, it's been probably week, 10 days now. Originally called ClaudeBot, then called MoltBot, now called OpenClaw. It's this AI that was created that you can actually run locally on your machine, and broadly, it has the ability to access websites, access your local machine, including your email. And so it's by itself, it's able to basically do all kinds of admin stuff. Like it can do all kinds of tasks and be automated and just do them on the fly. And it's accessible through chat. So you can use any chat, Slack, WhatsApp, whatever. It's mixed into like 50 different chat interfaces. you can just tell it to do stuff through chat and it'll go off and do stuff. And there's a
So I'm going to
lot to
pause you. So I'm going to pause you because I just want to reemphasize to make sure people caught the differentiation here. To date, most of the AI stuff, ChatGPT and so forth, you're having a conversation with it. You're typing in or talking to it, and it's responding back to you in words or generating an image. What you're describing is having this AI agent take action and do something.
do do lots of things. Like people are having
this
to
is a
do
big
like 20
step.
things,
Yeah,
like they're lining it up that, all the stuff it's
this,
doing for them.
this is a big step in a differentiation about AI tools, in my opinion.
And we should start out by just noting it's got huge security flaws right now. So it's not something that we're recommending that people go out and do a lot with, but it is innovative and it is going to press the boundaries of what's possible.
So
So
I didn't catch who the ad was from, but the Ferris Bueller Day Off reference, where he was walking into his work and he says, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You can take the day off. Just hey, finish his report for him, and you do this and you do." Did it scare you at all? The first thing I thought of, there's no human in that loop now, and you have no idea what that thing just produced for you.
that's right.
And I'm like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the one, I just kind of want to lock it in at 5,000 feet again, just so everyone can follow along. A use case for this thing is, hey, Schmitty, or whatever you call your agent,
Your
book
claw.
me book me a weekend trip to San Francisco. Don't spend more than $500 on the airline ticket or $400 on the hotel. That's the command, and then it does the research. It buys the ticket with your credit card in your name. It books your hotel reservation for you with your credit card in your name. Like, it is completing the actions. So that, coming back to Kyle, what you're referring to is, hey, go finish that report for me. Like, it is doing the activities on behalf of you in your name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it includes stuff like coding. There's people who are doing coding stuff in it as well. Command line, just like, not command line, English language, just go build this.
But the presumption from the advertisement was you can you can have it finish for you so you can take time off. But if that tool is being provided by your company, wouldn't they just give you permanent leave? Like if if they, I mean, it was kind of
Maybe.
like you could have the day off. Well, couldn't it make you have more than
So,
just one day
so,
off?
so can we differentiate? Because that ad, for those that, and I don't know, it was like GenSpark AI, or I forget what it
Something
was.
like that. I,
So that ad to me was hyperbole. Oh, hey, AI, go fill in this spreadsheet. Fill it in from what?
yeah,
Like, what are you talking about? Like, even their examples were so like ridiculous. Like,
esoteric.
okay, without any guidance, how's it doing that thing?
Mhm.
Whereas OpenClaw, OpenClaw, it has like, it's a real thing. Like, there's people out there who are actually like doing stuff, and it's not earth shattering stuff, to be honest. Like, it's a lot of little things that are kind of cool, maybe useful, whatever. I don't even think that's the point. The point is the model. Like, back to what you said, Rob. Right? It's this model of having local, and there's a whole separate piece where it can learn and it can get new skills, which is a whole crazy thing that we may or may not get into in this episode. Um, that it can just, like, you can go, basically anything on your laptop that your laptop can do is almost fair game. Any website you can access, it can do whatever you want. It can go out and summarize things for you. It can watch a website and see if something changes. It's got potential to
But didn't it
really.
also say it could talk to other agentic AI?
So that's Moltbook.
Yes.
So there's a space. I think it's a Reddit space where, and I don't know if Moltbook is the one. There's one where only AI agents can be allowed.
That's Maltbook. Yeah.
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 So only AI agents are allowed on there, and they talk to one another. So it's where
How,
they basically, it's like, I've been asked to do this. It's not a common skill, and it's basically like, is there a way to do this? And they can kind of share.
But
What
how?
could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
If so, no humans allowed to look in there. Like it's their own secret club.
Well,
Like
it's your AI agent, so presumably you have access to what
okay,
your agent's doing.
I thought you were being like serious. Like
No, no, yeah, well, they do say you're not supposed to go in there, but
You can't contribute.
okay,
oh, but
so
you can
there's your
consume.
line.
You can
Yeah.
consume what it's putting out, but you can't.
So, it was there was a great story going a little off to the side. There was a great story where someone created a bot that created a crypto and basically went out and pitched it in a way that made the other AIs on Moltbook think that it was a good investment. And it got supposedly bid up to $5 million in value. So the person
Wow.
just made a whole bunch of money, and then somehow it drops back down and it's not worth a whole lot. But it's like
Wow.
you it it's like if you're half a second ahead on what you figure out to do, you can game the system temporarily until the system catches up and says, okay, well, we're not going to fall for that one again, are we?
Well, isn't that like Tom Brady fell for that? Wasn't that the? Sorry.
So the one of the things that really kind of woke me up to all the stuff that this OpenClaw is doing is when China sends out a warning
Yeah,
that the security on this
yeah,
thing is so flawed. You got to be careful.
yeah.
Think about the source. Like, okay, it's clearly got some security issues if China is warning people not to use it, right?
Wouldn't it
So,
be ironic if we could use AI to backdoor them instead of the other way around? Like,
Oh my gosh,
uh,
it would be
that
ironic.
that's funny.
Mario, you did touch on add-ons. Think about your browser. All right, you're in your Chrome browser, you go get extensions, and Google didn't make the extensions. Some other company made the extensions, and you add it in, and a lot of those extensions slow down your performance. Some of them can introduce malware. Some can be stealing keystrokes. You don't know. You trust it. You hope. You look at it and go, well, look, 10,000 other people are using it. It must be okay. It's got a bunch of stars on it. I'm going to go ahead and try it. So OpenClaw has extensions. They've got add-ons that other companies are building to build out this infrastructure. So if you want OpenClaw to do more for you, you may have to go grab this extension, right? So to the point that Mario brought up earlier on is we don't know anything about OpenClaw. We really don't know anything about these extensions. And it's on your local system and you are granting it permission
Yeah,
to
to everything.
act as if it's you.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's going to do, right? So is it going to get into your Bitwarden password safe and log into your Schwab account and transfer money out? Like this. So this is one of those tools that I'm not going to be an early adopter on. Like, yeah, there's a lot of work to go on something like
So
this.
supposedly there's a way to install it with no permissions, right? To give it to start with it has access to nothing, and so that you specifically say, "I'll let you do this," and it's like I still don't know that I can trust it. Like, before I know you have something to say, Kyle. Before we go too far, can we just reiterate, like, we are not sanctioning putting OpenClaw on your laptop right now.
No,
Yeah,
you might as well just invite go down to your local used car sales place, invite the guy over, and then just say, "You need to borrow my laptop to do an email." Sure, it's got the passwords 12345. Go ahead and jump in. I mean,
so
what's the
I
difference?
happen to have a lot of used car salesmen in my family. So Kyle, I'm not
I used
really
to sell
sure
cars. I used to
what you're
sell cars. You
like.
have another friend that used to
Is
sell cars.
that was really your best choice?
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I could go to a lower on the food chain, like maybe a
Please don't.
gym salesperson, someone who sells gym memberships. I don't know. I, but those I
So,
know some of them
Maybe
too,
a
and they're nice
clown.
guys. So I don't
Maybe
know.
a clown outside the circus.
Yeah, I get around outside the circus.
so let's bring this into reality now. Let's flash forward. Look, it's brand new, right? And things always start off shaky with new stuff. So let's flash forward a little bit because this is the beginning of the next, in my opinion, the next phase of meaningful use cases of leveraging AI technology beyond just chat, interaction, research, and that kind of things. So I'm a mortgage banker. What could I use with this thing? Well, what if you're the head of sales and you turned on an agent that said constantly monitor CRM activity and let me know which of my reps aren't working very hard.
Ooh.
All right. That's a totally legitimate use case that a tool like this could be used to go do that a chat GPT is not capable of doing. Right.
And
Yeah.
then maybe the salesperson has an open claw that says, if whenever my boss's open claw is looking at the Salesforce thing, actually start making entries. Then you can have this ecosystem that looks like it's making a lot of business. Wow, things are going great. Nothing's happening. It's just
So
open claw.
so similar, yeah, and I saw specifically that somebody said they had this working. Somebody had it have access to their calendar, and however they identified sales calls on their calendar, it was doing advanced research without them ever having to ask. They set it up
Awesome.
once, and it would
That's a
do
good point.
advanced research on anybody they were going to meet with. It would go pull everything it could and do some sort of organized overview of the person. Boom, you
Or
never do
just
it
even
again.
go through the recent emails they sent you so you make sure you're fresh on what they were asking about or what you want to talk about. I mean,
What I found today when I was thinking about this, because knowing we were going to talk about this, what I found is that it is, even though I think we've talked around the concept of all this automation potentially with AI, it really is a different paradigm,
Yeah.
right? To step back with a different perspective on what's possible and say, well, hold it, what are all those things that I really shouldn't have to like go check that again or see how that's doing or know whether that I should go check that or not. You know what the actual analogy I came up with was, I'm a mortgage loan processor. I tell this story all the time that I had a client where we were doing their whole process analysis, trying to figure out where to optimize for technology. And one of their lead processor team leaders said their processors, on average, were spending 2.5 hours every day going into loans just to figure out what to do. And I felt like, well, hold it. Am I that person? Like, am I going into this and I'm going over there and I'm going over there and I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this? Because that's the way I'm programmed. I'm programmed that I got to go look at all these things instead of saying, okay, I need information. Why doesn't it just show up? Right. And I don't need to be like, well, what's going on over there? If something goes on and it's urgent, there should be a way to say, hey, Mario, you need to know this urgent thing just happened. Otherwise, it's like end of the day or beginning of the morning or like I I'm the person who needs to change the way I think, right? And that's how, to me, that's how dramatic this changes. To your point, Rob.
Yeah, and we've talked about before the introduction of a new job role called the conductor, which is the human being that is overseeing all these agents that are out there doing things and so forth. This is the step forward towards that happening. So how do you save your job? You know, Kyle, to your point, like, I'm taking the day off, or is my job eliminated because of this? Your job becomes the orchestration of multiple agents doing stuff. I'm going to say faster than humans could probably do it. I'm not going to say better yet because we know that there's hallucinations and errors that take place and so forth. But if instead of taking 2 hours a day to figure out what loan should I be working on, I'm instead spending all of my time overseeing the orchestration of 20 or 30 of these agents and looking at monitoring what they're doing and seeing the output that's coming out of it, making sure they're doing a good job, that's the creation of a whole new job category, right? Different skill set,
Yeah.
different understanding level. You still have to be an expertise in how to process a loan, staying on that storyline, but you're not processing the loan anymore. You're making sure that the agents are all processing the loan the right way, that kind of thing.
yeah.
So, so let me ask you guys a question. OpenClaw as a technology, as the tool that's out there today. Well, first of all, I'm just curious, Rob, have you got an offer to invest in it already?
I
Like,
have not. No, not yet.
okay, so now we know where OpenClaw is. They're not high enough up the totem pole. Is OpenClaw closer to Napster
Mm,
or Facebook?
mm,
And by Napster, for those that aren't as old as we are,
Yeah.
Napster just upended the entire music industry.
Yeah.
And then after, I don't know, not very many years, it was mostly gone. It took a
yeah.
long time
Well,
to finally.
because of lawsuits primarily.
Yeah, no, it was doing things in its case that were deemed highly illegal,
Yeah.
right? But it was so disruptive that it really upended the entire industry. And
I
the
can't
question
even
is,
make an evaluation. Those two polar opposite business models. Well, they're not even polar opposite. They're just different.
Well, is it Napster or is it Spotify?
There you go.
Right. At
Yeah.
least they're both in the same genre. So yeah.
That's a great, better
I,
set of things. And if you ask me, I got to say it's Napster because it's too early to be Spotify.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's too much tumult
there's
has
not
to
enough
happen.
safety guardrails in there to make sure it's not illegally doing things that it shouldn't be doing or grabbing or
Yeah.
using or getting
But
getting
Kyle,
the client that installed it in trouble.
yeah, I was gonna say I got to think, Kyle, for you and your role, responsible for the technology deployment within a mortgage banking organization.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be sitting there thinking, "Holy crap! I got some rogue LO who heard about this software that makes his job easier, that does stuff for him, that installs it on his personal machine, but to conduct, interact, summarize all my client meetings and do all that. Like, holy, yeah, you can have my username and
So
password to my
Reply my
LOS.
text messages.
So
Yeah,
I'll end on my comment on that, which is we have thought of that. We are trying to put guardrails on that where our internal LLM that we use, it doesn't ever, it only goes out to grab something. It doesn't push anything out of our company, and it looks to RAG depository folders within our our corporate structure so that it doesn't ever get to that. However, when you got vendors pounding you and literally the day 2 days in a row, and I won't say the name of the vendors because they're good vendors, they provide tools for us, so I get why the email came to us, and they're saying, oh, you should install, and I'll I'll out it what it is. It's a guideline bot for guidelines for lending, right? I'm like, okay, first of all, a guideline presumes you're going to put data in there about your client to get the what you need the guideline to say. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You're not. No, please.
but this is different. This is the with an OpenClaw. This is your Jimmy, the loan officer, puts it on his personal machine and gives it his LMA credentials, and and gives it a task like, hey, stay on
My
top of all
skin
my
is.
clients.
I'm getting like goose. I'm getting like. I'm going to start curling up in a fetal position because that just scares the heck out of me.
Damn
Yeah,
you, Jimmy.
Jimmy, Jimmy.
I hate that guy. He's a top producer. What are we gonna do? We got
Yeah,
to
I
keep him on
know.
board. Got to keep him happy.
And it's like, what's the big deal? That's usually what's the big deal? It's like, well, I don't know. I've always thought we try to do as many loans as we can in any given day and still be in business the next day. That would be the best thing. So,
So Kyle, I'm going to give you the homework uh, as we
thank
exit this episode. Yeah,
Is this a 2026 thing? We end every episode with homework.
sure, why not? We don't talk about the silly things we do with AI anymore because we just do everything with
I want to
AI.
go back to school
I,
anyway.
I, I claim
Go
I don't
ahead.
even do real work anymore. I just do AI.
Okay.
So Kyle, your homework is to figure out whether there's any competitors to OpenClaw. Because I expect we're going to talk OpenClaw at least a little bit,
I just like the
pretty much
name.
every episode.
The name is better than Klarna. It's
Well, that's what I was going to say.
OpenClaw.
This is the 2026 Klarna.
That
Remember,
potential, yeah.
I said, what I say, 100 times, 100 times valuation. This time next year wasn't that what I said?
For Klarna.
Yeah,
Yeah, where are they at?
no idea. I just know I predicted that, and if I go back and it worked, then I'd be like, man, I should have invested in it.
You guys want a little fun fact?
What?
Sure.
So the market last week took a big downturn, came back, but it took a big downturn on the premise that Anthropic had killed software. That Anthropic's coding models were so good that people weren't going to need Salesforce, Adobe, any of these anymore because you could just build it on your own.
Mhm.
You don't need it. And then the reality set back in and things mostly came back. Adobe and Salesforce happen to be down still 5% since last week. Fun fact, Adobe and Salesforce, what's the differential in the stock in the past 2 years?
What are they up? I mean,
Oh,
yeah, they're
they
up
got to be up
considerably.
massively, but I don't know.
They're both down 50%.
Wow.
Are you serious?
I was shocked. The Fab Seven or whatever it is, where all the money's getting made. I did not realize there's a layer of stocks that have just kind of sat there and maybe not done great for multiple years now because of AI.
So you're saying
Wow.
in the QQQ, the Nasdaq 100, whatever it is, you're saying these guys are in the Nasdaq 100 and they're just skating.
You had to go back 5 years on the
What
chart
about
to get,
dividends though?
and
You got
I'm sure there were dividends in there, but you had to go back 5 years. In 5 years, it's stellar. It's like
Yeah.
250% up, right? But I was shocked, and I think
Wow.
it is a sign of the times, like that.
Wow.
Just being a good software company, like Salesforce is a good software company, does not
yeah.
mean you know consistent growth.
Wow.
Yeah, but so was HP. So was,
True,
I mean, I guess
Microsoft.
IBM is still there. So I
It's true.
guess.
Hey,
All
can I
right,
tell you? I know we're way past dog walk. Can I tell you what the cool thing that I did with AI? Because
please
Yeah.
do.
it's new. It's pretty cool. So somebody I know has had a series of bad luck over the past 10 years in their career and has gotten caught up in like 8 layoffs in 10 years. Skilled software engineer, good at what it does, but last in, first out, company restructured. One company, they were so successful, they got sold, and the company at the bottom didn't need the engineers, they fired them all. So there's a legitimate, like good developer, good person, legitimate story behind every one of them. So he's at loss. Like his resume looks like crap. What am I supposed to do? Type of thing. So I went to Chat GPT and I had it put together help me build a custom GPT in my account. I can do that. That will help this person explore how they can make their next job one that will meet their needs and last long and all that other stuff. And one of the things it did was it created a markdown file that was an intake form so it could learn about this person
Hmm.
and had me attach it as a knowledge article. When you're designing a custom GPT, you can attach documents. And then in the prompt, which is a very well written prompt, quite long, said when the person chats for the first time, they just have to say, let's get started. And it goes through the intake form and it asks questions one at a time. And then based on the answers, it uses AI to decide how to drill down. So the intake form's not 100% prescriptive, but it is the guidelines of how to get the information out of the person to try to figure out how it is that they ended up in this pattern of constantly getting jobs where they ended up getting laid off type of thing, and how do they feel about it and stuff like that. I've never seen like a prompt that worked this way. So of course, when you build it, you get to test it. So I go, let's get started. And it was like, so it threw the question up, like, what's the most important thing in your next job? Is it stability? Is it income? Is it location? What is it? And so I answered that question. And based on that answer, it like spawned additional questions to really do an intake on me. And then one of the rules we put in is you can't skip any questions because it needs all this information to do its job. So I'm like, I don't know. Let's come back to that later. And it responded with no. I need the answer now. And if you want to take a break, but we're not going further until you answer that question. I'm like,
Oh,
I had no idea. So intake form is a markdown document. And then the prompt was basically ask one question at a time. You can't jump around, that type of thing. I can't wait to get the feedback from him of how it all goes. And I know it's going to irritate the crap out of him because I know what his personality is like. But really, I'll keep you guys posted on the progress and how this goes and stuff. So, and this is a long term. So this is like once we decide what jobs to apply for, if he gets an offer, I'll evaluate the offer against a set of criteria to determine if it's a likelihood of him getting caught up in a layoff or not. If his biggest thing is to avoid getting laid off, I will score it against these parameters. Like, mind blown. Very, very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
different way of thinking of things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Are you so that's the goal is he doesn't get laid off though, right?
The goal is to help him identify a job opportunity where, if he chooses that that's his top priority, where the likelihood of getting laid off is going to be lower than other opportunities.
Where do you get your information if it does put him in a job where he doesn't get laid off? Then you got to. Are you like waiting to validate the like
For the rest of his life?
It'll be around for a couple of years.
The AI overlords will be in charge by then. So
That's right.
And speaking of overlords, we are way over time.
Nice.
So, with that, I'm gonna end this one. Let's just start it off. Hey, I'm Kyle Myers.
I'm Rob Katz.
Still, Mario de Benedetto.
And this has been the AI Riff.
Wires hum like whispers in the deep dark night. Shadows dancing strange under neon light. Digits spinning fast like a gambler's hand. The clock chimes change, it's the new command. Oh, the future calls with a voice so clear. A melody of progress in every ear. No turning back, the wheels in motion. A tide of cold like the endless ocean. Binary prophets riding fading streams. Data flows like rivers fueling all our dreams. Simple or savvy, it's all the same path. Under skies of innovation, we redraw the map. Oh, the future calls with a voice so clear. A melody of progress in every ear. No turning back, the wheels in motion. A tide of cold like the endless ocean. Set the rhythm to the beat of change we sing. Every click and hum a key that rings. A revolution, quiet, but it's vast. Building empires where echoes of futures cast.